One genre I loved as a kid, but nowadays never play, are the RTS games. I don't mean that in the esports kind of way, but just for playing the story or against the PC. Don't get me wrong, I still very much enjoy the StarCraft 2 story, but I know that is not the reason for its success. I think a lot of people, when they think RTS around that time, they think about Command & Conquer, but not me, no sir. My love and favorite RTS game is set in the most famous fantasy setting of them all, Middle-earth. Personally, the part I loved most in the Peter Jackson movies were the battles, but that is not specific enough. To be precise, the moment I always wait for is the brief second before the impact. Be it horses storming into an ocean of enemies, an arrow hail raining down attackers, or a catapult bringing destruction to a city under siege. The blunt sound of force against flesh or metal still to this day satisfies something simple in me. Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle-earth delivers on all of that 100%. I remember owning an awesome collector's box set with Battle for Middle-earth 2 and Rise of the Witch King, but I think the stupid child me gave it away or something. Now the game is quite expensive, and you bet EA doesn't sell it on something like the online game store. So, shout out to the guys that modded the Battle for Middle-earth Online Edition. Real love and dedication from fans for fans. No key mod, zoom out mod, newest patch and online play without EA servers to name a few. I'll link their Facebook and homepage in the description. Thank you for your hard work, guys. Developed in 2004 by EA Los Angeles and published by EA, this RTS takes place, as the name implies, in J.R.R. Tolkien's world of little men and big monsters. You assume direct control as the commander of armies, heroes and villains alike. Yes, you get to be playing as the bad guys in this, from the lowest orc to a screeching Nazgul to the mightiest evil wizard. Needless to say, but the graphics don't really hold up if you play it in 2017. The models are very basic and already didn't look too great when you zoomed in back in 2004. Don't be discouraged by this, the gameplay and accessibility are still there. There are 4 factions in total: Rohan, Gondor, Isengard and Mordor. Each faction shares the same basic in units and upgrades, but ultimately has an area where they shine.
Soldiers at the ready! Our forces are under attack! Soldiers of Gondor! Get the Uruk warriors ready for battle! Get going! Don't fall behind! Get going! Another Orc fresh out of the
Rohan has strong and fast horse rider units with access to elven bowmen. Gondor is a jack of all trades with strong defensive units. Isengard is the master of resource production for big siege weapons. And Mordor relies on mass producing units, continuous attack and strong endgame units. Different power abilities get unlocked after defeating enemy soldiers. You can use those to give you a passive bonus, or the sudden edge in battles like summoning extra units like bowmen, ants or the mighty eagles. Throw in the different hero units accessible to each faction and you're ready for war. Battle for Middle-earth features 2 modes for you to play. First, let's talk about the skirmish mode. In this, you can fight against other players or AI opponents on a selection of maps featuring different locations of Middle-earth. You can play solo or form teams, set difficulty levels for your CPU and select if you want to start in a big fortress or a smaller camp for faster games. There are no exciting extras, but everything that a basic multiplayer mode needs is there. I consider that a solid effort. As you probably saw by now, base building in this game is more restricted than in others. Where you are allowed to build in your base is predetermined by symbols in the ground and walls. This is one of the reasons some might find this game too simple. Another point is that one unit isn't one soldier, but instead consists of a whole squad that you can control, or that there's only one resource for everything. With these design choices, the gameplay is robbed of micro and macro managements RTS fans love in other genre hits like StarCraft 2 or Civilizations. The shining diamond of this game though is the campaign mode. It lets you play the entirety of the Ring War, starting from the mines of Moria right to the Black Gate of Mordor, where you make your last stand against the hordes of Sauron.
A day may come when the courage of men fails, when we forsake our friends and break all bonds of fellowship. But it is not this day. This day we fight by all that you hold dear on this good earth. We must act quickly. Do not show them fear.
In this, there are 3 types of missions. Story missions, where you mostly play as the heroes of the Fellowship, like Moria, the Hills of Amon-Hen, or Shelob's Lair. In those, you have to keep your heroes alive by using the special skills to defeat your enemies. Some heroes are way better than others though, so I always focus on leveling up Gandalf, Legolas and Aragorn first. And because you are a way better general than any of the people, some of the fights have a different outcome than you might remember. Here, remember the time Gandalf just totally owned the Balrog, no problem? Or the part where Aragorn saves Boromir from the Uruks? You don't get a noble sacrifice on my end, old boy. Defend Helm's Deep however you want. See, I don't try to defend the long wall at all. The second type has you playing different missions and skirmish maps, where you have to destroy the enemy camp. You get to choose which part of the map you want to free from Saruman and Sauron's influence, and your decision actually matters. Each mission gives you a different bonus, like higher unit cap or power points. The better the reward, the higher the difficulty. The fact up to the very last mission, you have a finite amount of maps you can play before one of the big battles really makes this feel like a real war table with moving armies and strategy. The third and best type of missions are the ones where you defend or attack the big fortress of the movies. Defend the long walls of Helm's Deep and fail because you can't stop the ladders. Try to somehow hold out till Eomer and Gandalf come with the Rohirrim army that you built. By the way, you can totally fuck up that moment by building the wrong units or by almost losing the mission before and showing up to battle with like 3 archer units and 2 units of riders. Upon replaying Minas Tirith, I did have a way easier time with that. The orcs didn't even come past the first wall, and Nazgûl fell down from the sky like dead flies. Still really epic when the Rohirrim show up.
We must defend our country. Keep these lands safe from the south to aid Sauron. Follow my lead. There, 4 of them. Attack! Kill! Slay them all. There, 4 of them. Reform the lines. Keep these lands safe. Wretched creatures! Attack! Wretched creatures!
And check it. You don't even have a timer for the ghosts, cause the ghosts are your win condition. Hold the fort up till you just mow down the rest of Sauron's troops.
Let's go now.
Hit the enemy! Take cover, men!
I will end you.
Rain arrows upon them!
I shall not see daybreak. Stop. This one's mine.
The big story missions have in-game cutscenes recreating movie scenes. I don't know why, but to me, those have a lot of charm. I mean, look at this! I want somebody to make the whole trilogy with these models. Each voice line from the heroes and a lot of the units is directly taken from the movies, and they even had the actors doing lines for the game. The good campaign has Gandalf, Ian McKellen as narrator, given us trivia, mission details, and props for winning.
West Emnet, the greatest region of Rohan, where lie the largest cities and fortifications of the Riddermark. Should these cities fall, their people will become refugees.
The bad side has Saruman, Sir Christopher Lee himself, which makes it even more awesome.
The forest of Fangorn will burn to fuel the industry of Isengard.
It was a lot of fun replaying this game for this video, and now I really want to play the sequels someday, because I never finished those. If you want a really deep RTS with state-of-the-art graphics, Middle-earth can't deliver on those. But if you like Tolkien's world and want a fun and atmospheric game to immerse yourself in, check this old gem out.
Warriors are being spawned.
Kill him. Wake up.
How dare you! Embrace my power!
Out is thrust into the forest. Use another build. Attacking us.
Isengard will prevail.